All right, welcome to Friday's episode of DB2. David Brem here with Daniel Butler as always. Butler, we are talking wide receivers, Cincinnati Bengals, and unfortunately, because you know I love talking about him, it's not Jamaar Chase.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, we could talk more about Jamar Chase. Always, I think we, if we want to talk about him,
I'm
which
sure I'll
we could, we
I'm
could
sure
figure something out that we haven't.
I'll
Not,
bring him up.
but yeah, we're not talking Jamar Chase. We're talking, I think, wide receiver two. I mean, I think we can say that wide receiver
I
two.
feel pretty confident
T
that.
Higgins. He was drafted as their number one wide receiver. ADP
Which
of
was wrong, which I
24.
told you.
ADP of 24, currently wide receiver 40 on a points per game basis. So that takes into account that he missed 2 games. So he has not been up to wide receiver. I mean, he has not been wide receiver 24 on a points per game basis. So why does T Higgins why does he why is this interesting?
Because as much as I would like him to, Jamaar Chase can't catch everything. Like I would love if that was the case, but we've touched on this offense a lot. We really like this offense. Burrow, while not like a super stud in fantasy, is a very good NFL quarterback. They've got a good running back, so teams have to honor that. I just feel like Higgins, he didn't play a couple weeks. He's been a little bit down. He's been down after the injury, so there might be a little bit of lingering there. I don't know. I just feel like and unfortunately, people are going to start zeroing in on Chase a little bit more. I think, which is going to open up a little bit more for Higgins. And I feel like I think Higgins will end up kind of right where you drafted him. I think in that kind of 20 to 25 range. I think that's where he's going to end up, which is way above where he is right now. So I think he's a pretty good value right now in the trade market. And a guy, he's not the number one on this team. That's been proven. But I think in this offense, that number two has some really decent value.
Yeah, Chase just has that big play potential, and he's got those touchdowns. But yeah, I mean, he had 6 targets this past week. But the one thing I don't like, but I don't think this is a trend, is his 57% snaps. He was actually outsnapped by Tyler Boyd. But before the injury, it was pretty close. So this is
Yeah.
a 3 wide receiver team. Auden Tate took some snaps as well. Again, I think as T Higgins gets back in swing of things, maybe I'm wrong. I just don't see Auden Tate being. I think they would
A
prefer to
threat.
to have T Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and Jamar Chase on the field. That's the trio they like.
Yeah.
And T Higgins, he was drafted as the wide receiver one between the three of them. Whether you agree or disagree with that, he was still. I think we both agreed that both guys were top 30 guys,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I think even probably top 25. I would have to go back and watch. I think we were probably you had Higgins, I had Higgins higher, and you had Chase higher, but they were
Yeah.
both close
They were
and
relatively
top.
close.
I think I want to say even top 25 for both of us, or around that. So
I believe so.
um, yeah, I like T Higgins going in, and I personally, I mean, I've talked a lot about how much I love this offense. I love Joe Burrow. This is a pick that they used. It's not Jamar Chase high, but it's a second round pick. First, I think it was the first pick in the second round
Mhm.
last year. So it's a guy that they spent a high draft pick on. Another wide receiver out of Clemson, super talented. Joe Burrow is, I think, an incredibly gifted passer. It's always been a question if the offensive line will hold up, and if it does, if he's solid, if he throws for 300 yards in a game, he threw for 270 this past week, but if he throws for 300 and throws for a few touchdowns every week, I think T Higgins, his touchdowns will come. I think that will happen. I think
Um,
he'll have some really nice weeks. I mean, that's the thing. Like with this offense, is how much do you trust the offense? We've talked a lot about the Bengals. I mean, so much
Oh yeah.
because of Jamar Chase, but T Higgins is somebody, a second receiver. I do think this offense, the tight end is fine, but he's not overly involved. He's not
We've
taking.
talked about him this week as like
Yeah,
he's a bye week fill in, but that's about it.
it's Jamar Chase so far, and it's like who's going to be the second weapon? We don't know. I mean, Mixon obviously as a rushing pat, like he can do it all, but who's going to be that second receiver? This is a team that can sustain 2 receivers. I'm very confident in that. I did
Yeah.
not think 3. I thought 3 was a much for even the Bengals. I feel like Tyler
Yeah.
Boyd's probably the odd man out, but maybe they can do 3, but it's going to be tough. They definitely can do 2, I think.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
who's the second? Is Tyler Boyd going to step up? T Higgins?
I just think it's got to be
Auden
Higgins.
Tate, okay, probably not. But yeah, Higgins, they spent a lot of draft capital. It's the first pick in the second round. There's only 32 guys that were drafted ahead of him in the 2020 draft. So somebody they really obviously like. They liked him enough to draft him that high. And people were really high on him coming in this year, too. It's not like he's had a terrible rookie season and people are like, yeah, no, he's still very high on him. Wide receiver 24 going into the season. So I think that's about right as well. I think he has potential to be a top 20 guy rest of the season, starting today. I don't know if he'll get into 20 now, but maybe. I mean, it probably won't take too many big weeks to get up there, but I think he has potential to be top 20. And depending on how the offensive line works and the offense as it develops, like maybe even a little bit higher.
Yeah, I couldn't. We've talked a bunch about it. I think much better days ahead for Tee Higgins for sure. So if you can get Higgins, if you can trade for him cheap, because honestly, the owner right now might not be. He's probably not excited about him. He's not. He's seeing all this stuff about Jamaar Chase. He's man, I picked the wrong guy, and like there's some stuff like that. So definitely maybe a trade candidate out there for you. Maybe you can buy low on him and hopefully help your team going forward. So appreciate you stopping by. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. We got videos 5 days a week, and leave us a comment. Always helps us out. Gives us some feedback. If there's anything you'd like us to talk about, we kind of open up 3 episodes a week to kind of freeform talk about whatever we're feeling that week. So ideas are always appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that all helps us out. We're still new, like still trying to, find our way, but also looking for, just interaction and whatever, if you wanted us to discuss something, let us know. Always looking for that. So thank you so much. You guys are great. Thanks for watching, and come back tomorrow and every other day. See ya.
See ya.